Hi students, welcome to Edurific. As you can see, we are on the App Lab page of the code.org platform. Now, in this session, we shall learn how to create a project where we'll receive a text input response for a text input entry. Now, as you already can see, I have already named my project as text input. Shall we start with the project? Yes. So firstly, for this project, we will again understand how our toolbox works with various commands. So this is a very simple project. So firstly, to create the backdrop of this project on the visualizing screen, we should be switching to the design mode. So I will click on the design button. And as you know, we are on screen 1. So firstly, what we are going to do here is we shall put a text input entry where you can enter your name or any other details, and we shall put a button which on clicking will again either respond you with your name or a response for the input you have entered. Shall we start? Alright. So as you can see, we are on the design mode of the App Lab. Since it's a text input project, we shall first take out the text input element, which is here, and place it on the screen according to the position of our requirement. So we have placed it here, and as soon as we have placed, on the right hand side, the properties tab has opened for the corresponding text input. So we shall have already written the text input label as text_input1. Now we shall drag a label button and place it on top so that the user should understand what should be entered. So as you can see, the label's ID is label 1 in the properties tab, and the text will be please enter your name, because that is what we want the user to do. As we change the text settings on the properties tab, you can see that it changes on the visualizing section too. So this means we have informed that the user should be entering the name in the text input. Now our text entry box is ready along with the label. Now we shall drag the button element and place it again in a place where we want on the visualizing section. As soon as we place it on the visualizing section, you can see that the corresponding properties of the button element will be visible in the workspace area of the design toolbox. So our button ID is button 1. That is how it will be recognized while we will be programming it. And in the text, we shall write click here. Also, as we write on the properties tab, you will see that it similarly be typed on the visualizing section. So here we have typed click here. This means once the user enters the name, the user has to click the button to allow it to either respond or enter the same name. So our button, our text input box and the text input label is ready. All we have to do is enter one more text input box for a response. So as you can see, we can enter it again in any position on the visualizing section. As we have entered, you can see that the ID is text input 2, which we can change as response label or anything which you prefer. I shall keep it as text input 2, and in the placeholder 2 I would not keep anything because it is what we should return, that is the computer should return as a response. So now our visualizing section is ready with a text input where you have to enter your name, which is specified by the label, and then click the click here button, which is again specified, and is another text input 2 element where the computer will give you a response. Thus, the design mode of the App Lab for this project has been utilized. Now we will be switching to the code mode. Switching to the code mode, we shall press the code button. Now as you can see, we are on the code mode page of the App Lab page of the code.org platform. All we have to do now is to enable the buttons, the labels and the text input boxes which we have dragged onto the visualizing section from the design mode. Basically, we shall be giving them features and characteristics in the code mode. So, we shall now begin creating the code where each of these input boxes, buttons and the labels shall function. So as you can see, we are on the UI control section. For this, we shall drag the first command on event into the workspace or the scripting section. So, the command has ID, click and function. So, our ID will be button 1, which is on clicking the button 1, what all characters should be happening in the visualizing section would be given by a function, and our function will be event. So now, in between these, there is a space where you have to enter another command. So for this, firstly, the event command is if a button or anything specified in the visualizing section is clicked, all the instructions in the green block is going to be run, which is the function settings are going to be run which are in the green block. Now, we shall go to the variable section and drag the first command, variable x. As you can see, when you hover the mouse around the commands, there is a small instruction sign which is visible, which we have already discussed, which gives us a small description of the command that we will be using, so as to enable us to understand the command completely. So now, we shall drag the variable command and place it in the scripting section. So, creating a variable is for storing a person's name once they enter in the text input. Basically, the variable command collects all the data which is entered and stores it in a computer memory load as a unique value. So what do we store in the variables command? For this, we again go to UI controls, drag the get text command, that is, we shall be saving the text entered in the label input 1. So what is the ID of the input box which we have created where the user will be entering the text? Yes, that is text input 1. So according to this command, it means that whichever text is entered in the text input 1 box or element, it will be stored as a variable x in the computer's memory load as a unique value. So now, how do we set the response? For this, again in the UI controls, we shall drag the set text ID. As you can see, it has already instructed saying that the set text command sets the text for the specified element, that is as a response. So we shall drag the set text command and place it here, assembling it in the workspace. Now, which input should be giving the response to the user? Yes, that should be entered here. So our text input 1 gives where the user enters his data, whereas our text input 2 gives the response. So we shall be choosing text input 2, and in the place of text, can you tell me what should be entered so that the user will get his response? Yes, so whatever we have entered as our variable, that should be responded. So we will be setting the set text command to X. So this means that the user enters the data in text input 1, which is stored in the variable X and which is again extracted from the variable X by the text input 2 to respond to the user. So now our code is ready and the visualizing section is ready. Shall we check whether the code works or how it works? Alright. So for checking if the code works, first we need to compile the code. How do we compile the code? Yes, exactly. As we know, we shall click on the Run button on the visualizing section to compile our code. So our code has compiled. Now, for example, I am the user. I shall enter my name as Apple, since I have already been specified to enter my name by the label which we have used. Now, I am instructed to click the button. I shall click. As you can see, the computer has responded exactly with the same thing I have written. So yes, our code works and we have received a text input from the code we have created. So as you can observe, it exactly types whatever is intended by the user, right? So instead of receiving the same response, shall we try something such that we shall receive a response different from what the user has typed? Alright, for this we should change the set text box. What do we change in the set text box? Can you think about it? Yes, so it is already given that our response should be from the text input 2 element which we have created, so that needs to remain constant. But the next box where what to be returned as a response is asked, that should be changed. So basically, variable X should be not returned as a response, instead something else should be returned. What should that be? Shall we say hello? Alright, so for this we shall go to the math section, drag this command. As you can see, if you hover, you can get instructions and place it here. So here we shall write hello, since that is what the reply we should be getting. We wish to get a hello as a reply. So we shall type in hello. And where do we get it? So basically it should be telling hello Apple if your name is Apple, it should give you a warm text saying hello Apple. So what should be the second thing that you will be typing? Yes, of course, it should be the name that the user has entered, which has been stored as a unique value in the computer memory load in the variable X, right? So the second space should be X. You should be vigilant of the uppercase and lowercase which is being used, because variable uppercase is different from variable lowercase. So as you can see, now our response will be hello, and whichever variable X has stored as the name. So shall we try the code? Alright. So for trying the code, we should be compiling it, where we should click the run command in the visualizing section. So our code has been compiled, and for say I am the user, I shall enter my name as I have done before and shall click here. As you can see, there is hello Apple. So the code we have created has let us greet with hello. But you can see that hello and Apple do not have a space. So for that, we can create a space after hello here. And again I shall run the code. And I shall write my name. I shall click here. As you can see, it says hello Apple with a space. So whatever you want your input response to be, you can be adding it in the first space of the arithmetic command of addition. So this is how we have learned how to enter a text in the text input element and how to receive a response from the text input element through a simple code. I hope you have understood this simple project and will try it yourself, and have already familiarized yourself with the App Lab a bit. In the further section, we shall learn much more about the App Lab through various other projects and improve and enhance our knowledge. I hope you have liked the video and enjoyed yourself throughout. Do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.